Hloni, good morning to you. It's safe to say that England have arrived as the bona fide favourites, despite the fact that they've been struggling with illness within their camp. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's an interesting series, Jeffrey, because as much as England have been playing Test cricket, or they played against New Zealand, and that series ended in early December, they've also, and obviously South Africa's had all the other issues that have been happening, but the injuries that have hit England have drastically affected their preparations. And up until 2 days ago, when we were with Joe Root, they weren't sure, and the day before that, when we were with the coach Chris Silverwood, they weren't sure what they were going to do with the ill players. So they were still saying that we're assessing it a day at a time. So we're not sure at the moment. I'm sure, well, the teams will come out, the team list will come out in the next few minutes probably. But yeah, so there's injuries there. And I suppose they are the favourites in the sense that there's at least some stability, or more stability in the England camp compared to what's been happening with South Africa, and the fact that we've just been playing Mzansi Super League and we've just had a new coaching management change. But I think that in terms of the batting itself, both teams are a little fragile, and the bowling is where things look solid for both sides. So it'll be interesting how the test series pans out. With
that said, the English bowling group were the larger portion of the squad that have been affected by this illness. So who knows who'll be fit enough to take to the field and be able to bowl for or be expected to bowl for 5 days. Let's come to the host, South Africa. Last month we had huge turmoil within the boardroom of Cricket South Africa. Yes. There seems to be a lot more settled mood within the South African camp. Can we say that this is a bona fide start for a new era with some familiar faces and voices in the background that could get South Africa to, over a certain amount of time, to where it thinks it belongs?
Well, I think for Faf du Plessis as the current captain, he's relieved because he has been talking about how, I think even since the Sri Lanka Test series loss, but just with the World Cup happening and things not going well there, with India happening and things not going well there, he's been very honest about, he's felt like he's had to shoulder the majority of those performances. So he's relieved that there is now structure. He wasn't happy that India was a tour with interim staff. He admitted that, So now that there is all these positions have been filled now, and things seem to be moving forward, he's happy. But he did say on Tuesday that this is a young squad, and I think that's the thing that's happening at the moment, that there's a very young squad at the moment. There's some inexperience, so there's a lot of rebuilding actually what's happening with the Proteas at the moment. I think the concern would be that even before all these other players retired around after the World Cup, things weren't going well even then, so you don't know if this means things will start going the right way or if things will continue.
That's where we have to leave it. It's going to be fascinating to see what happens in this particular test, the first of the season for South Africa. That's all your sports for now. Thanks so much to my colleague, Hloni Mtimkhulu.